my god, the way these bitches act. Okay, so good morning, y'all. It's Timidity. It is currently 2:53 p.m., November 15th, 2025. I just had a flashback to a memory I repressed so fucking hard. So, there's a lot of context to the story, but I'll keep it short and sweet. I remember once my mom was angry as fuck, yelling at me because at my 8th grade graduation, the fucking people used like my actual legal last name instead of the one that she put in the system for me. And she decided to take out her anger on me and started losing her fucking mind. And on top of that, like, here's a distinctive memory. I remember the way that it was like freshly, like, within the first few weeks of like summer or so after graduating from middle school. And I remember Father's Day was coming up, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll get a gift for my stepdad, obviously, because he's around, and I guess I'll get one for my biological one, too. And I went out with my grandmother, we went to Daiso, Japan, I got a fake flower and some chocolates, and I was like, all right, I wonder which parent to give this to. I wonder which parent, like, gets what. Because, mind you, I didn't give a fuck about my biological dad. I didn't. That's just the guy who was around, but I wanted to be nice. I remember the specific way that, like, I was 12 or so at the time. The way my grandmother took both gifts out of the bag for me, put them both in my hands, and said, here, go walk up to your father, and then physically started pushing me to the room where my biological father was sleeping. And I kept trying to be like, but, wait, what? And then let's just say I had to give him both gifts because I was forced to, and it was like, oh, here you go. And he was okay and neutral about it. It's like, all right, yeah, that happened. And I thought, shit, what am I gonna make for my stepdad now? Let's just say between what happened at the graduation and like that, I guess made my mom feel so embarrassed. Fuck her. And then also what happened for Father's Day. She was like, you didn't get your stepdad a gift. You had them change your name to your dad's fucking last name instead of our name, and then da da da, fuck you, fuck. And she was just screaming at the top of her lungs at me and threatening me. And then my sister, who's a fucking cunt, because she always wanted to be, like, I'll put it this way. Me and my sister had very distinctive differences in our childhoods. Like, my mom switched up on favoritism whenever it was convenient. So I grew up as a confident child who later on had a parent that switched up and turned evil on them, and I just simply thought, that bitch was weird. Anyway, and then my sister had the opposite, where she was, like, kind of just, like, unwanted. And then later on in life, my mom would just, like, breadcrumb good treatment or love bomb here and there, so that then my sister would be reliant on her devotion and attention all the time. Meanwhile, I thrived on the fact that I had freedom away from them. Like, I don't know, I'll put it this way. You, like, the black sheep of the family would switch up at random moments. And so there's different levels and stages to that, and I think it psychologically fucked up my sibling, which we already know it has, and that's why we are very different. I'm someone who is okay never seeing these people again, and she is someone who will probably stay under my mom's thumb for the rest of her fucking life until she's like, what, 73, 52? I'm just saying. But as I was saying, sorry, I know I'm switching up like stories timeline wise, chronologically, like Pulp Fiction, but bear with me. So, to set the scene, it was like a random month of like somewhere like late June, early July, something like that. My mom was screaming at me, and my sister, I guess, decided it was her turn to use my mom's anger as an excuse to go off on me, trying to say I was an ungrateful child, that I didn't care about the family, all sorts of accusations and terrible things. And I remember I thought to myself, this seems like the time where I have to rip off the band aid and tell them how I'm really feeling. And I just mumbled out as I was trying not to cry about how my mother's abusive actions and dismissiveness of me emotionally was making me feel like I was insane and starting to feel suicidal. And the way, I'll put it this way, the way this evening went, let me tell you, those fucking cunts. I cannot believe I forgot this memory, but I see why I forgot it. It's because if I were to remember this, let's not. I'll say it like this. If you have a child who's like, what, 12, 13 or something, the sweetest kid ever, tries their best in every fucking way, and you know damn well that you beat them way too much, that you did fucking weird perverted shit, that you were a bad parent. And then your kid doesn't even directly say you're a bad parent. It's just like that the way you treat them sometimes when you dismiss them emotionally and threaten to abuse them and openly abuse them makes them feel suicidal and feel like they're slowly starting to lose their mind. And I said it so gently, and it's like, I don't know, it was the equivalent of like watching like a small delicate flower bloom and open up, and then they decided to like stomp on it, crush it, stab it, piss on it, shit on it, curb stomp it, throw that shit in the gutter, fish it out, lynch it, eat it, shit it out, light it on fire again, throw the ashes into piss, make a clay with it, break the fucking clay flower hopes and dreams of your fucking child again and again and again. And it's just like, wow, like it was one of the most traumatic nights of my life. Like to this day, I'm 25 years old now. It's been over a decade. I still remember this. My sister threatened to beat me and hit me in the face and for hours verbally abused me. My mom came in with a belt threatening to beat my ass. She threatened to ship me off to an asylum somewhere and lock me away in the forest where no one could ever hear me scream. And she specifically ripped off my grandmother on my dad's side's phone number off my wall since she didn't want me to be able to text and call for help. This fucking bitch. Sorry. That was the summer I got an eating disorder because staying in my bedroom and starving, not do I didn't even drink water. That was so much easier. Like, wow, you did so bad to your child. Like, I'll put it this way, I was actually pretty courageous as a kid. Or like not well, I don't know how to say that normally. You know, when you're a black child, you're gonna have bigger thighs and stuff. I remember the way my mom used to fat shame me, and she still actually did multiple times in her life, but fuck her. No offense, if you saw that bitch, you'd be like, Timothy, don't take life and body advice from someone like that. No offense, you drink fucking open wine cups and glasses on the shitter that you line up in your bathroom as you work at your so-called daycare job. Ma'am, I'm not like, no offense, you're built like a bus. I hate to say it. But she doesn't like me saying that shit either, but fuck her. I don't like a lot of things she did. You, like, bitch, you, fuck you, actually. I don't like her in the slightest. I'm happily estranged. But let's just say it's like, if your kid is like, hi, like, I confided in my sister that, and it was specifically me confiding that it's like, hi, my mom being abusive to all of us and also dismissive is starting to make me feel like I'm losing my mind and that I shouldn't live anymore. And it's really messing with me. And if I open up to you about that and you're like, oh, I'm gonna threaten to punch you in the face, snitch to our mom, switch off between me, like both of us verbally abusing the shit out of you, she's gonna come in and threaten to beat you with a belt and punch you in your fucking face and call you an ungrateful, stupid fucking bitch, and plenty of things. Hours and hours and hours, and then it didn't end there. It was a whole fucking summer where I was a young girl who was forced to be in her fucking bedroom, no food, no water, because it was better than constant threats of abuse and antagonization. No offense, there's a reason why I don't really hesitate to say my mom should fucking kill herself. I will be happy when she dies. I will have a fucking orgasm. And I know you're like, Timothy, you'll orgasm when your mother dies? I don't see her as a mother. That's some fucking whore. That's some slut in the street. That's an ugly fucking bitch. And if you're ever like, wow, these are vile things to ever say about your parent, trust me when I say she's always said and done worse to me. I'm infuriated just remembering some of this shit. I was a child. And if you would have known me back then, you would have known I was such a sweet kid. I didn't do anything to anybody. All I wanted to do was just draw pretty fucking flowers and the moon and pretty girls in pretty dresses. And I wanted to like just be an artist as my life goals. I wanted to make people happy. They didn't want to make me happy. Also, what's so funny is that later in life, when I was getting close to turning 18, my mom was kicking up a fuss really hard about how I'd be getting an ID real soon to mark my change into adulthood. And then I found out that the name that she had told me was my real name all my life was actually not. It was not on any birth certificate, any social security card, anything. So, like, when she was tormenting me like 5 to 6 years before, trying to act like I was so, it's like that was just my legal name. Like, I hate, it's also, it, come on now, a million reasons. But it's like, I'll put it this way. Imagine someone abuses the shit out of you and makes you feel like a terrible person for using your legal name to be walked on stage at a meaningless 8th grade walking ceremony. Who gives a shit? Also, I'll say it. My dad's side of the family was the one that actually took care of me. My mom was neglecting the shit out of me in middle school, and she fucking knew that. I wasn't getting help with my schoolwork, and when they actually did try, they were fucking abusive as shit and made it worse off. They didn't give a shit about me getting bullied in my entire life. At any point, they could have stopped it, and instead, they tried to make excuses for the bullies. They were consistently disgusting, vile people to me, and my dad's side of the family had to step in and be like, yo, why does this girl have like one braid, big ugly braid going this way and the other one going that way? Why is her hair not taken care of? Why does she have flooding jeans that don't fit her body? Why is she wearing the same hoodie all the time? Like, why is, like, what the fuck? And they had to intervene to actually get me to start dressing like a young lady and not like someone who was just like 5 years behind fashion wise. Like, I don't, like, they had to teach me, like, here, let's get your eyebrows waxed, let's get you lotion and lip gloss and all that. I remember my mom would get actually angry if I asked about some of that shit and tried to get her to get me that stuff, but then also would complain that I was a musty, unlovable child who would amount to nothing. I don't like, yeah, she was a weirdo consistently. She was a, you never knew what was up with her. Like, I remember times where I even made comics, and one day she just chose to be angry. I don't know what about, but she just decided to just waltz into my room, demanded to look at a comic I was drawing that was just some Calvin and Hobbes bullshit, and obviously a first draft. And she literally looked at it, snarled, pointed out every single flaw in the way I colored the characters, the way I drew it, the way I wrote, the punchline of the joke, all that. And she physically threw it at me and said, do better, and then walked out. And then she snickered with my sister about it, and I still, to this day, don't understand it. It's like, why would you do that to a 10-year-old or 9-year-old even? She was a weird bitch. A weird ass bitch. Jesus Christ. I don't really care about her at all. Like, and it's fun too. I enjoy that I don't. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, people usually put themselves in these scenarios. You heard me say that I was suicidal, especially because of a past of extremely abusive and dismissive behavior, and you decided to retaliate by being 10 times more abusive and dismissive? And now you want to boohoo to people like, oh, she doesn't, okay, like, it's so funny. I remember even like somewhat time within the last 2 years or so, I was walking around just like, on my way to an event, and I get stopped by somebody who tries to talk to me like, your mom really misses you. Are you sure you can't come back and just give her a phone call? Because, there's no books on parenting. Bitch, there's a million books on parenting. Walk into a Barnes& and Noble sometimes. You can look up books on there's a million books on parenting. We live in 2025. There's books, movies, all that. She's the one who chose to be a weird mix of mommy dearest and fucking Precious's mother. I don't know what you, like, shut your ass up. But what's so fucking funny, is that I remember that as this lady was standing there trying to guilt trip me with the I'm not an enemy, I'm not sure, and with the most evil energy ever. Like, I'm not, like, how like fake Christians, she was a fake Christian, or worse, she was a real one, but just like had the evil Christian energy. Not saying all Christians are evil, but there are some Christians you meet that's just like, oh, you enable evil shit with the power of God. Yikes. So, the way this bitch was like, I'm not your enemy, with the most like evil purge mask smile ever, and she was like, but don't there's no handbooks on parenting. We all make mistakes. Don't you think? And you're not perfect either. You've done things as well. Don't you think that you should get back in contact with her? And I said, if I have really done things that are that bad, why would you want to get back in contact with me? And I specifically said, by the way, I'm pretty sure you're the one who's been leaving comments on my YouTube channel as well, but you've clearly seen how she's leaving plenty on mine, right? And she was like, what? And I said, yeah, did you see the comments my mom has been leaving on my YouTube channel relentlessly over and over, just trying to degrade me, insulting me, being aggressive and hostile, threatening me? and being erratic. Simply put, if she really is so sad about not having me around, she would cease that behavior because that's just proving that I made the right choice. And that lady was like, "Oh, I didn't know she was doing that." But then she tried to get back into her, "But you should still forgive her though. Come on, talk to her." It's like, no, because it's like, bitch, she can't even handle, like, no. Why would I talk to someone who's leaving like weird fucking like 18 comments on a video on some psycho shit, crashing out, losing her mind? Like, you can't even handle access to a YouTube comment section. What do you think is gonna happen if I'm there? You don't wanna know. I don't give a fuck about that whore. She's an ugly whore. She's a fat bitch. Nothing's wrong with being a fat bitch. But yeah, she's got issues. I'm just saying. I have so many memories of her being abusive, terrible, slut shaming, predatory, creepy as hell. She lost any chance of redemption a long time ago, and she doesn't even want one that badly. I'm just saying. Oh my god. But yeah, there's more I could say, but I won't say too much other than I remember years back. Do I want to say this part? Let's just say for years I wanted to escape these people, and I have the chance now, and I'm happy. Also, I remember what happened when I had to get that fucking GoFundMe going because they fucking scratched up my face and sat on it and stuff. And I remember the way people kept trying to guilt trip my half sibling. I don't like to call her a sister because she disgusts me. She's vermin to me. Amen. God bless. But the way she left like a comment that was just like some, ooh, and here I was thinking we were rebuilding a connection. I didn't think we were perfect, but apparently you just think I'm some evil fucking bitch. And it's like, yeah, in the context of the video that I made like 5 years ago, I called you an evil bitch because it was specifically in the context of you tormenting me to the point where I gained an eating disorder. You fucking whore. That's, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then also the context being like, okay, so let me get this straight. You know I'm already suffering from like estranging from both sides of the family and being homeless and all that shit, and you want to try to add salt to the wound or peroxide even and just be like, wow, I can't believe you ever once thought a bad thing about me. How dare you? Fuck you. And then trying to make it about yourself. Yeah, you should. I don't care about what happens to you either. I don't. Funny enough, like, yeah, I don't know how to make it clear. These people just are foreign to me. And it's a blessing to live an entirely different life where now I can look at these memories. Like back then, they were times that I didn't even think I would live past. And now I'm 25 years old and I'm actually happy. And I'm living life. And I'm at peace. Also, do I want to talk about the ID thing? I don't think I will. Oh, actually, hell, do I want to? Fuck it, I'll mention it. I remember that the way my mom kept trying to be like, we need to get your ID changed, but your dad's giving me an issue, and she actually started, she worked herself up, and it's annoying. So she was getting worked up about, like, oh, I have to talk to the DMV and go to court and talk to your dad, and your dad's not signing this slip, and da 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 da. And it was taking up months and months and months, and she was getting angry, and when she is angry at something, she gets mad at everyone. So then she was getting angry at me, even when she didn't need to get angry at me. And eventually I just was like, hey, how about this? I can always change my ID later when I'm like, we don't have to change it before I'm like a full-on like, I just said something along the lines of like, I'm 17 and I want to have a job because like I won't turn 18 until the end of summer, and I just want to have a job and like a bank account and make money. I don't really care about my last name because I know what I'm called, and I can always change it later with my own consent, like when I just turn 18, and it'll be okay. I wouldn't mind covering the funds to do that and just like having his name temporarily as I go on with my life. It's okay with me. And she was like, oh, really? It's okay? Are you sure? And I was like, yeah, because think about it. He's stressing you out. You're stressed out. I don't want you to be stressed out. And, it's not that big of a deal anyway, because I can, what? I think that with a job and an ID and like everything as quickly as possible, I can get the money real fast to just change my name myself later in life. And she's like, okay, cool, nice. You want to know what happened? Months later, this bitch started talking shit and hooting and hollering and spreading all these fucking rumors in the family. Try to be all, see, see. See, she still wants her dad's name. She still fucking hates us. She still fucking hates us. And then my sister started chiming in again and actually tried to kick up a fuss at this job program my sister and my mom forced me to be into for ghetto bitches. I hate that program. Hate those bitches. Like, Jesus Christ. Let me, like, ugh. Anyway. The way like, I remember how my sister specifically, in the middle of this job program, unprovoked, starts monologuing about how weird it was I didn't want to get my name changed and how I wanted to keep my biological father's name and still exclude myself from the family and still, like, never truly be one with them and all that other shit. And that was so fucking strange. It was. Also, like, because it's like, girl, all of you should know that's not the case. I want to get money. I don't care about a name that I don't use. What? Oh, stupid fucking people. But I also forgot to mention, so when I was like 12, 13 or so, when the really abusive, terrible night happened, I remember that it's like, I think less than a year passed, and my sister had this thing called a cotillion. I don't know. My sister's like half Mexican, but her Mexican side didn't I don't know, like she didn't get a quinceañera or sweet 16, so it's like, okay, close enough. Go to this thing where you get a cotillion, whatever I don't even know what that is. As a grown adult, I don't know what that is. All I know is she had a beautiful, pretty dress, and she looked lovely, and I was happy for her, despite her being an awful, terrible son of a bitch. I was happy for her, you know? And I remember specifically what happened. What was it that happened? I like how I said, I remember specifically. No, the fuck I don't. Oh, yeah. I remember my mom came up to me out of nowhere and said, hey, your stepdad legally adopted your brother and your sister. And I was like, okay, that's good for them. Hell yeah, I'm happy for them. And then my mom kind of just gave me a prolonged, like, how do you feel about that? And it's one of those things where it's like, number one, okay, he was also abusive and terrible to me if this is another form of excluding me or trying to make me feel bad or unwelcomed in the family over one small incident that happened for like fucking 3 fucking seconds, like a year ago or so. Alright, whatever. Fuck him. I don't exactly want to be claimed by a man like that either. Also, later on, I found out he was cheating on my mother. Pathetic loser. Two, I have a biological father. Do I give a shit about him? No. But it's like, he is alive, and also, I don't get. I. For so. Just. Yeah. But it's like, also, I forgot to mention for years in that household, like, they did more terrible shit. I forgot. After the abusive shit at graduation, my mom went out of her way to get 3 fucking cats for the house, knowing that I'm extremely allergic because she didn't want to have me. She just decided, you know what, fuck it. Like, as a sick punishment to me, she got cats because she did not want to fucking see me around the house freely out in the open at all. And sometimes she would be a bitch and force me to keep my door open knowing the cats would come in. She was a fucking cunt. Like, yeah, you've known since I was a baby that I'm allergic to cats to the point where I have to go to the hospital over it, and you got 3 of them. You should kill yourself. You should fucking kill yourself, you rotten pussy bitch. Stupid bitch. I hate her. Also, I have to admit, for context reasons, I'm the darkest member of my family. And if you're like, wow, your family's white, that explains a lot. No, they were just extremely abusive lightskins and half breeds. Very fucking annoying people. It's like if you're, it's so funny sometimes when you listen to, like, you know how you sometimes hear something unhygienic or terrible or unnecessarily dramatic and you're like, is it a white person in this story? It's even funnier that it's like, oh, it's an extremely light-skinned woman who like, like, okay, it's just a fucking paper bag test family. Ooh, yikes. Yeah, these bitches suck. But, like, what else happened with her? I was gonna say something really important. I was on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, she got cats. I was allergic. She got cats. That's all I need to say. She got cats. 3, knowing I was allergic because she didn't want to see me around. And then she wants to complain that I no longer even claim any of them as any sort of attachment to me. I don't give it, like, I don't know what, I don't care. Nothing about them matters to me. And it's amazing and it feels great. Amen. But yeah, these bitches are weirdos. Weirdos. So it's like, I'm just happy that at some point when I was 20 and my mom tried to attack me, I just, like, I'm happy I stood my ground in the first place when she was just taking up a fight with whoever she could that day and tried to instigate shit with me unnecessarily. And then I am happy that when she tried to sit on my face and claw my fucking eyes out and attack me and whoop me and punch me in my fucking face, that I did what I had to. Cause you know what? Fuck it. Mental illness runs in our bloodline. And let's just say she got to see a certain side of me that she didn't really know existed. And I have to say it was funny that like she was trying to sit on my face. Her vagina was on my face. I know that she doesn't have labia. That's not something I should be able to say as a child or as a child of that parent. Lame ass bitch. You know what I mean? That's weird. I'm a skinny bitch and she weighed like 3 to 4 times my weight. I was severely underweight back then. You could tell. Cause like also, oh my god, don't get me started on the way she used my fucking disability funds. I'll put it this way. People used to be like, what? She was using your disability funds for rent? What's wrong with that? Yeah, but then she'd do stupid shit like buy my younger brother a bunch of expensive video games, Nerf guns, and all sorts of crazy shit and pay for everything else but me with it. And then meanwhile, I, as a teenager, I was starving, ribs visible, miserable, faint as fuck every day because of her being a trifling bitch. Like, it's like, oh, so, and also then actually post estrangement with her, I found out that allegedly she made thousands more than she was letting me on. And also the reason she started being really abusive when I was 20 was because I guess like the limitations or whatever the fuck for age, for disability funds were going to kick in. So she was just getting abusive with me even more than she already was because I guess it's like, all right, now I have no incentive to be nice to her or be her caretaker. Even though she wasn't even being my caretaker, she was not doing good at it. Like, Jesus Christ, the things I had to go through as a teenager and as a young 20s adult. It's like, she was just like, alright, now she's no longer my cash cow or my pay pig or someone to just milk endless moolah from. So therefore, fuck this bitch. And she started getting really abrasive and terrible again. Even more so than usual, which was bad. Very bad. She was always a weirdo. Always a fucking weirdo. But as I was saying, the day the fight happened, where, vagina on my face, her clawing at my eyes and trying to punch me and slap me and shit, I remember the way, I don't know, it's sad that, like I said, I don't know if I've mentioned this, I've had to do sex work to afford to live and eat in that household or just to be out of the household. There's a lot that happened. Like my grandmother on my other side eventually moved in because my mom wanted to make extra money and forced me to share a bedroom with her. And even though my grandma did terrible things to me and there was feces on the wall from my grandma and it was just hell every day. And if my mom got mad at my grandma, she would take out her anger on me instead. It was so fucking stupid. My mom's a stupid fucking whore, but I hate her. But I don't care about her, so that's a blessing. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I remember the way. Like, I'll put it this way: when I did sex work, I had to learn certain things. I had to learn use my long legs to my advantage because it's like I have skinny little arms, and if someone tries to overpower me, kick, push someone away with my legs because my legs are one of my strongest features on my body, so I may as well utilize them. I grew out my fingernails very long because I knew it's like, okay, if I have sharp talon-like nails, I can fuck someone up if need be and get them off of me. And that helps. And it's so sad that I got certain defense mechanisms to protect myself from predators, and I had to use them on the final boss, the biggest predator of all, the person who brought me onto this planet without my consent. Terrible. But I remember the way, like, I'll put it this way, she was angry as fuck at me. And she was mad that it's like, bitch, you're sitting on my face and using your weight to pin me down for no reason when you're 4 times my fucking size and you're mad because now when you're trying to pin my arms down, I'm kicking you in the back of the head with my fucking legs on some bow type shit. Like, or using it was funny as fuck. I had to use my toes because I got really long toes, so I don't look at that for free. And someone's gonna jerk off to that, but whatever. And I was like grabbing the back of her nasty ass braids with my toes and like, Mortal Kombat kicking her back in the head with it. It was kind of funny. And like, why am I pulling your hair with my toes? Why are you putting me in this precarious predicament? It's so stupid. And then it's like, I had to, like, yeah, she would try to grab a leg, and then I'd use the opportunity to, like, swat at her face or her arm to get her the fuck off of me. And in the process, she got clawed the fuck up, too, just like she was clawing me. And then at some point, when she did almost get both arms, and I had to use my legs again, I remember at some point, her, like, she would, like, free one hand to try to attack me. And that's when like I used the situation to my advantage because my mom hates her looks for a lot of reasons. Her fucking fat ass belly started popping out from her shirt and lifting up. And so I was on the verge of a blackout with how angry and enraged I was, and also adrenaline from self-defense. So the way it's like a weird situation. It's like, okay, your mom's vagina is on your face and she's attacking you, and you have to muffle out, look at this shit, look at this shit, you fat ass bitch, you're embarrassing, you wish you were me, fucking fatty, look, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. And I just was like swatting at her stomach and jiggling her fat around. And then you could see that it was fucking with her because she was angry, but she also looked really embarrassed. It looked like tears were rolling up in her eyes, but it's like, fuck you, get off me. The simple process is get the fuck off me and stop trying to kill me, dumbass. You're like, oh my god, I can't believe the chick who I'm abusing and low-key sexually assaulting would call me fat. Yeah, that's how that works, stupid bitch. But and it's like and for years I felt guilty about it, but then I had to remind myself that's sexual assault, Smitty. She was trying to kill you. She left your face bloodied and it took months to heal. You had she got called fat. Who cares? But in one of her guilt messages, she tried to leave guilt messages wherever she could. Like after that, she tried to guilt me over text, GoFundMe, and I'm pretty sure even over YouTube before. And it's like, boo hoo, bitch, you got called fat. Like, hello? Accountability skills just non-existent. Psychopathy up on high. Lame ass loser. But I have to say, I have to admit, it is a little objectively funny that it's like that had to be a tactic. Like, I need to get away from this bitch who's trying to kill me. Look, Fatty McFatty, Fatty Magoo, Fatty Magoo. I didn't say Fatty Magoo, but it's like, why do I have to be like, look at this shit, and lifting up your shirt to reveal your belly button and jiggling your shit? Why does that have to, you know? But it worked. It was kind of funny. It's like she was trying to be like, ah, and then it's just like, oh, fuck. Like, she would literally, it was like, I have to admit, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of like boss battles in video games. Like, you know how in a video game it'll be like, the weak point is the dragon's tail. The dragon will keep attacking you, but as long as you can get behind and hit its tail, you can get massive points damage. And I guess that was it. It's like, all right, because she was using her full body strength of like wham, 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 claw, 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 special move, special move. And my special move was dickle doo, and it's like, oh shit. And then she put her arm down, and then with her arm down, then I could attack or try to push her the fuck off me or kick and thrash easier because she would lessen the weight and be distracted. Yeah. Anyway, what a weird time that was. Yeah. Anyway, you got two highly traumatic moments, like, just on the fly. Yeah. Anyway, being an adult is fun, and I enjoy that, and life feels good. Anyway, there's not much more to say other than that. But yeah, they acted like they didn't want me around, and I'm not around. But they were the types to complain when I was around, so it's like you got what you wanted. You're just mad because now your favorite toy to go around and break and try to destroy no longer wants is like an option for you to play and get your rage out. Sucks for you, loser. Not my issue. Anyway, and I'm happy because instead of any of my trauma being existent, I live a life that is so foreignly far away from everything, and it's a blessing to be alive, and I'm extremely loved and grateful for it. Amen. Ah! God bless you. Peace out. Bye.